My name is Bram van den Berg. I'm an associate professor of marketing management at the Rotterdam School of Management. And one of the many roles that I fulfill here at the school is that I am the academic director of the marketing management program. So I'll be looking at a couple of these videos and then I will try to reflect on the answers that the students give to the questions that have been raised. Let me just jump right in.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Gian.
Nice to meet you. I'm Carmen.
Pleasure. You're IBA, right?
Yes, I'm a second year.
Nice. And how are you enjoying it?
I'm really liking it, yeah. And you?
I'm a Marketing Management Master student.
Oh,
yeah.
That's interesting.
And I did IBA before, so I can imagine the the life now. But yeah, pleasure to meet you. And yeah, we can just go straight into it, I guess.
Okay, so the first question. Who is the master for? So the master is for students who are interested in the area of marketing.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'd say that's true. Yeah, objectively, it's marketing management, but I'd say it's also for anyone who I think is also could potentially be interested in applications of marketing in other fields. I think one thing I've learned in the master is that marketing is very relevant for a lot of different departments and a lot of different functions of the business. So, if you're interested maybe in a more qualitative side of other functions of business, I think marketing management is also very relevant for you. So,
yeah, I think this is a pretty good answer. It's basically for any student who has the ambition to gain more knowledge or an in-depth understanding of marketing and why marketing could be a key driver of an organization's performance or of a company's, let's say, performance. We are specifically looking for students who are willing to extract value from data using quantitative methods, but also for students who want to create value for consumers, for companies, for organizations, and even for society at large. So I largely agree with what the students say in this particular video. So let's move on to the second question.
Go to the next one.
Okay, should we go for the next one?
Yeah.
What is the teaching format? So, I mean, I think it's a bit practical. I would guess it's practical and also a bit of theory, but I would say you would apply it in the real life.
No, that's also true. I think a big difference between the masters and just bachelors in general is that masters is very focused on preparing you for the real world. So it's a lot of case-based learning. We have to do a lot of readings with real-life examples or potential like business scenarios, and we apply a lot of what we learn to those. And I think it focuses a lot on both qualitative and quantitative aspects of marketing, which I think is very important. You can't have one without the other. So yeah, sure. it's very practical. So yeah,
that's nice.
Good guess.
So yeah, this is also a very good answer, because it's true that we strive to offer a good balance between, on the one hand, academic rigor, and on the other hand, practical relevance, and that was very clear in this video. We do not only strive to offer a good balance between, on the one hand, academic rigor and practical relevance, but also we try to strive to ensure that we have a healthy mix of breadth as well as depth. For instance, in the first semester, we try to offer a broad and very solid foundation in the marketing management core courses. And in the second semester, students can then build a career-defining specialization, and they can create their own personal profile. So I think it's fair to say that we try to balance, on the one hand, academic rigor and practical relevance, and on the other hand, we try to offer a healthy blend between depth and breadth. So I think this is an excellent answer, and I wouldn't have expected any differently from our students, of course. So let's move on to the next question.
Okay. Can I combine work with this program? I would guess it's a full-time master's, but maybe you have time for a part-time job as well?
Yeah, I mean, the objective answer is yes, you can combine work with this program. One of my closest friends is currently doing a full-time internship at Philips with the master. Obviously, it comes with sacrificing time and you know, it is a lot of work. But if that's a challenge that you're willing to take, then you can absolutely combine work with the program. But yeah, just keep in mind that the master's is a lot already to handle. So I personally wouldn't do it just because I think I would find it overwhelming. But if you're up for the challenge, I guess you absolutely can.
Yeah, it depends on the people as
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. Like if you want to have time where you can study and relax, I wouldn't recommend doing work with the masters. But if you're very passionate about it and you just want to keep learning and working, then yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There is some anecdotal evidence, as also being advocated in this video, that it's possible to pull it off, right? That you can combine work with studying. But I would not recommend it. I would actually actively discourage it. Our program is challenging, it's demanding, and it's designed to be a full-time program. And in order to be maximally productive and get the most out of the program, you would need to rest and relax from time to time. And I'm afraid that you won't get the maximum out of the program if you never have the opportunity to let it all sink in a little bit.
Next one. What are the career prospects? I guess there's a lot of stuff you can do after the master's in marketing. What do you think?
I mean, I think because they teach you sort of both quantitative and qualitative parts of marketing, you have a very broad range of opportunities you can do after. I think one important thing about the program is you can, when you hit blocks 3, 4, and 5, you can take different elective tracks. So there's one that's more quantitative focus, so working with data, more the mathematics of marketing, and you can take a more qualitative, which is more creative strategy focus. So, you know, depending on who you are and what your interests are, your prospects can range from being a marketing data analyst to a brand manager. You can work in advertising. You can take a focus on digital marketing. It really depends on what you want to focus on during the master, because they give you the freedom to choose. So,
and how many of those can you choose?
You can only choose, well, you don't have to exclusively choose one track and only take electives there. You can mix and match. It's really up to you what you want.
So again, I can fully endorse whatever is being said in this video. So some of our graduates, they work in big, large multinational companies, but there's also a couple of graduates that work in very small startups that you probably never heard of. Some of them work in the private sector and they work as marketing management consultants, and some of them work as market researchers. But some of our graduates also end up in the public sector, and for instance, they work in the European Parliament. So the job or the career prospects are pretty diverse and highly depend on whatever set of electives you decide to specialize in. I think it's also important to stress that with the help of our alumni, we implemented a mentoring program and embedded that mentoring program in a course that we call Your Future Career. So we really try to help our graduates or our students to find a very attractive position that they can be happy with. And together with that particular course and together with all the career events that we organize on campus and the strong interaction that we have with student organizations, many of our students have the chance to interact with companies on campus at a very early stage in their, let's say, job hunting process. I think the combination of the depth and the breadth that our program offers turns our students into very attractive candidates on the job market. And this is also illustrated by the surveys that we send out every year. It turns out that 9 out of 10 students find a job within 6 months. So the career prospects look pretty bright. So I think whatever is being said in this video is largely in line with how I think about it. So let's move on to the next question.
What makes this master at RSM unique? Well, I don't think I would know.
What makes it unique? I think it's a combination of different things. I think it's focused a lot on real life. I mean, I know that's something you expect with masters, but I think RSM is very good at not only looking at the real world and how sort of the curriculum applies to it, but also looking at it in a very international context. I think RSM is very lucky and it has a very diverse community of students. So I think it does well in really applying or helping students apply everything they've learned in just beyond the Netherlands or beyond Europe. It really, the lessons can take you everywhere and can be applied everywhere. So I think that's one thing. And I think, yeah, just supplemented with that is the fact that there's such a diverse community of students. Like you not only learn a lot from the curriculum, but you also learn a lot from other people. And I think that's quite rare with master's programs. So yeah, I'd say the international aspect of the master's makes it very unique. Yes.
That's nice.
I largely agree with what is being said in this video in the sense that, yes, our program is very international, very diverse, but I think it's especially unique because we try to make sure that our program is very contemporary and up-to-date. And whatever happens in the business community will be reflected in our program virtually immediately, or whatever happens in, let's say, the academic community will be picked up immediately because our teachers are really experts into whatever is going on in the business as well as in the scientific community. So let's move on to the next question.
You want me to?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you. What opportunities are there for studying the latest digital marketing techniques?
What do you think?
Well, I think that nowadays everything is very focused on the digital area. So I think it's really important to learn how to master those skills very well, since in businesses things are very digitalized nowadays.
Yeah, no, that's 100% true, and and I think that's definitely something that the masters has recognized. And they're really looking at, they're taking a lot of a digital focus, looking at the different marketing techniques across the different courses. So if you look at the first two blocks, although they may focus on more broad concepts of marketing, they definitely always bring applications of what different digital marketing techniques are relevant in different areas. But this is more prevalent, I'd say, in the elective system, where you can take specific electives where you learn specific digital marketing techniques. You can take courses on big data, you can take courses on data marketing analytics, and there's even opportunities to take master-free electives outside of MM, where you can learn even more specific things about digital marketing techniques. So yeah, I'd say there's lots of opportunities, and if that's something you want to pursue, to do the quantitative track, because that's more what it focuses on. So
yeah, this answer is also, I think, spot on. I think it's a pretty good answer to the question. We offer an entire track related to digital marketing, so there's lots of opportunities to learn techniques that are related to digital marketing. But I think what is also emphasized in this video is that digital marketing is everywhere, right? And even the non-digital marketing, that doesn't exist anymore. Every marketing, all marketing practices that we engage in, they often include, or virtually always include, a digital component, of course, right? So it permeates every course, or virtually every course that we teach. Now, I do think it's fair to say that when we talk about digital marketing, that we talk more about, let's say, the strategic aspects of digital marketing rather than the very hands-on tactics that you would learn to master digital marketing efficiently. Let me just give you one example. How digital marketing was conducted, let's say 10 years ago, is not the same as how it was conducted 5 years ago or how we do it nowadays, right? So these digital marketing tools and techniques, they're rapidly changing and they evolve. And what we don't want is that the knowledge that you would get in our program is that will become obsolete in 3 or 5 years from now. And that's why we mainly discuss the strategic strategic aspects of digital marketing, rather than, let's say, the very concrete and tactical tools, like how something works on this particular social media platform, so to say. Because we want to ensure that whatever you learn here, that you can take that with you for the next 10, 20 years, and not for the next 1 or 2 years. So I think this answer was pretty neat. So let's go to the next question.
All right, here, I can finish this.
Why are there 2 research courses in the first semester of the program?
Okay, I think there's 2 because the first 2 courses, in which each course has one research course, it focuses on 2 very different areas of marketing. So the first research course is on consumer marketing research. So that really focuses on data from consumers and about consumers. Mm-hmm. And the other one is marketing strategy research. So these are about insights about from the firm itself. I think those are 2 very distinct and 2 very different research areas for marketing. And I think they've done it that way, so we not only realize that there's a difference between the 2, but also the different techniques that are relevant and specific for each of those areas. So, I mean, I hope that's correct, but that's what that's how I think the program's set up. So, yeah.
This is a perfect answer. I have very little to add to what is being said in this video. It's true that we have 2 more statistically oriented courses, and you could ask yourself the question, why do we have 2 statistics courses in the first semester? And I think this answer perfectly summarizes also what I would answer to that particular question. One is focused much more on consumers and focuses on how do we extract value, how do we extract insights based on data that are, for instance, generated by experiments. And on the other hand, how can we extract data or insight? How can we extract value from data that are provided by a company, for instance, about its competitors, and how you use those data to actually formulate a good and efficient, let's say, marketing strategy. And I think those 2 are very, very different approaches, and I think they're very complementary. And it's not just 2 statistics courses. They're very, very different, and very different in terms of the goals they try to achieve. So it's there for a purpose, because we want to focus on the one hand on understanding consumers, but also we want to focus on how can you make better decisions as a manager using, let's say, quantitative tools and market research processes. So yeah, this is an excellent question, and I shouldn't have elaborated that long on this. The perfect answer. Let's go to the next.
Okay, so now that we've reached the end of the questions, how would you summarize the Marketing Management Masters?
I think the Marketing Management Masters, it's really the perfect Masters if you have any at all interest in the realm of marketing. You know, I think one common misconception of marketing is it's very qualitative, or it can be very broad and general. But I think one thing that's great about this Masters is you really learn how complex marketing is. So you really learn everything about the quantitative side when it comes to marketing data and analytics, and you learn the qualitative side, which is communication, you know, developing brands, stuff like that. So if you really have any inherent passion of marketing, or even you know, in the realm of working with data and even storytelling, I'd say this Masters is definitely something you should consider. So. Yeah, nice. That's as good as I can describe it. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
There's nothing that I can add to this particular answer. The student said himself that it's the perfect master if you want to learn something about marketing. And who am I to disagree? I'm not sure that we offer the perfect program, but we always try to improve, and we always try to do it better. As I said in one of the previous videos, or previous answers to the video, is that we try to stay up to date, and we try to offer you the best program that we can potentially design. Whether we achieve perfection, that's probably in the eye of the beholder, and this particular student says that it's perfect. But I largely agree with that student. That doesn't mean that we've achieved perfection, but we still try to give everything we can to offer students the best learning experience. I think there's one thing that I would really like to emphasize in this particular answer is that we try to really combine the two sides of your brain, right? So on the one hand, we really want to focus on data and evidence-based decision making and extracting, let's say, insights from data that is collected. But on the other hand, it's also important to emphasize that marketing is also related to what the student calls qualitative. I would call it more substantively or managerially relevant topics, where creativity is, for instance, very important, right? And you have to create value. But I think it would be ill-advised to simply focus on only the creating value or only on the extracting value. I think a good marketeer can try to combine both approaches, and that's also what we try to do in our marketing program. So that's all I have to say. I hope these videos were insightful, and I hope that my answers to these videos were even more insightful, and I hope to welcome you all next year on our campus when I can welcome you as the academic director, and I hope to recruit all of you as promising graduates from our MSc in Marketing Management program. See you soon.